everyone, welcome back. This is a great guitar with a huge number of tonal options. So I'm gonna smash through the specs really quickly, then we'll get to the sounds and all the switching stuff. All right, it's a lot of fun. This is the new Revo Sessionman guitar from Vintage. If you know your guitar history, you might recognise what it's inspired by. I think it looks super cool. It's a solid mahogany body and neck with a rosewood fingerboard. These very cool Alan Entwistle designed Neotron pickups. Alan designed the whole guitar. Well, you know, he designed the switching and stuff particularly. It's got Wilkinson tuners. It plays wonderfully, like the setup's great. I think it looks very 70s and very cool. It's got this kind of binding around the top, which I really like. You know, it's weighty, as you would expect from a mahogany body guitar like this, but not too bad. Let's get to the switching though, because as well as these Neotron pickups in here, we've got all of these controls. Okay, I'm going to tell you what they are, and then we'll go through how they sound. Okay, so master volume control, that's just there all the time. It does exactly what you would think. Three-way toggle, that's there all the time. That does exactly what you would think. This slider switch here is the coil tap switch, so from humbucker to single coil. I really like the single coil sounds on this guitar. They work really nicely. There's not a massive volume drop like there is on some guitars. And in many ways, I think I prefer them in kind of tap to single coils than I do to humbuckers, but that's, you know, personal preference. The humbuckers also sound great. Next to that is a phase switch, puts one pickup out of phase with the other so that when they're both together in the middle position here, you get those great out of phase sounds. There is also a second three-way switch here, which you may have noticed. This is a mode switch basically. So in the mode that it was in with the switch all the way down, it works just as I said. So you've got your volume control, phase, coil tap, three-way toggle. Those are working. So when you move that switch to the middle position, that engages this, which is the ATN5. You've probably seen me talk about the ATN5 in other videos about Revo guitars. It's in an awful lot of them. It works really nicely as a 5 position, where with kind of 4 active tone changing positions. Kind of like a fixed tone control, but in a way that isn't like a standard tone control. We'll come to that and I'll go through them at the moment. So, but basically it's off, and then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 other positions where it will affect the tone. So that's with this switch in the middle, that engages the ATN5. When you get to the top position, that engages the this control, which is the warmth control, which is kind of a tone control that rolls off the top end, but not in a way that standard tone control does. There's also this knob here, which is the density control. And when the ATN5 is engaged in this position, in any of these positions, the density control also comes into play. And that actually affects the DC resistance and the impedance of the pickups. So I'm not going to try and explain what you know, electronically what that does, because I kind of understand some of it, but we'll hear what it does tonally. Basically, it gives you some subtle changes in tone that just give us a huge number of selection, you know, pickup selection opportunities. I think, like let's see, there's 1, 2, 3. 6, including the heart, plus the out of phase. 8 sounds in the basic position, and then we bring in the ATN5. That gives us another 4 lots of 8. So that's 5. That's 40 sounds. And then we come up here, and that brings in the density and the other tone controls for kind of polishing those. And the ATN5 still does work in that position, but in a different way to the other way. So you're kind of looking at, I mean, a lot a lot of different selections. So let's dive in. Let's dive in, right? I'm going to start in humbucking mode on the bridge pickup with the volume up full. It sounds like this. That's a great humbucking pickup sound. Let's tap it, see what it sounds like single coil. I said before that I really like the single coil sounds, and I really do. It sounds great. I'm going to move on because otherwise we're going to run out of time. So bridge pick. We'll go to the neck pickup now. Humbucking. Sounds great. Single coil. There's very, very little volume drop there, if any. It's amazing, actually. So yeah, single. I really like that. Great neck pickup sound, right? Let's hear them both together as humbuckers. Lovely. Both together as single coil. Works great. Both together as humbuckers out of phase. Nice. Single coil out of phase. Those are all usable sounds. Brilliant. Right, let's dive in to position 2 with the ATN5. So let's go through the sounds on the ATN5 here. We're engaged in the middle position here, and you can hear that it's doing various things to the low end and the mid range. If I put it onto single coil, all of a sudden I think the ATN5 really comes into its own here. So if I move it, so that's bypassed, bring it in, move round one, so you can hear what it's doing to the sound. And I think particularly when you're in the single coil mode, the ATN5 just opens up a whole new bundle of fun, really. That was the bridge pickup. Let's hear it on the neck briefly. So there's so many options. I just find myself fiddling to find the nice ones, but because there are so many nice ones in there. So that's, yeah, for the kind of jazzier stuff, that's great on the neck with a single coil. So if you're using this for recording stuff, you know, particularly if you're stacking parts and doubling things, it's a really quick and easy way, you know, just spin a few knobs, flick a couple of switches, and off you go. Let's move to position 3, because what we have now is this. So I'm going to turn the ATN5 off. This is our warmth control. So if we go to the bridge pickup again, almost like a standard tone control, but not quite. It just kind of warms, well, it's the warmth control, isn't it? It warms it without losing all of the top end. If I put that on the neck pickup, go to single coil. Again, that's really nice, really musical. So let's look at the density control now. Move the ATN5 to the next position. Turn that warmth control back up. It's a very subtle, very subtle. But you can, I mean, density's about right. It does kind of sound more hollow, but not in the same extreme way that a phase switch would do. And that's, again, that's on the neck pickup there with a single coil. Let's try it with both of them. So it's all the way up, all the way down. Yeah, and if I move the ATN5 round as well. You can really hear it working there. So, I mean, that's just kind of playing with how thin or thick it sounds. I mean, there's so much going on. There's so much going on with it. Let me try that density control on the neck pickup. That works wonderfully there. So this is with it all the way up. All the way off. Very useful, again, for like recording or playing with a big band where you're trying to find your space. So when you move the ATN5 round, it kind of moves, I think, where the kind of resonant peak of the, well, not resonant peak, that's not like a wah pedal, but like where it's affecting the frequency range on the density control. So it's subtle changes, but really, really, again, just like really useful. If you're recording, it's just, you know, you can just bash through a few options without having to then go and re-EQ it and all the stuff. Just get it sitting right in the mix before you even press record, you know. And there on the phase control, that density, on the out of phase setting, that density control is there. It's a very fun guitar to play. You can find some really cool sounds. You can get sidetracked by it if you're not too careful. But once you've found a few sounds and kind of where you want to adjust things like the density and the warmth control to really maximize each of those settings, it's great. I mean, it's so versatile. I've barely scratched the surface here, really. But it's just a really fun guitar to play. It looks cool. I really like the look of it. Love these pickups. Really like these pickups. The Revo Sessionman. It's unlike any other guitar I've played in terms of the electronics on it. There's so much there. I'm going to crank that for the outro, because you can still just use it as a rock and roll machine like this. But I'm going to try, hold on, let me try putting that up to there. There we go. All the details are below. Click like and subscribe if you want. If not, I mean, yeah, if you get a chance to play one, set aside some time to really get into it, because it takes a little bit of getting your head around how it all works, to be honest. Once you do, it pays off though. I'm going to turn my density control down, put it into that one, out of phase, single coil. What's that sound like? Kind of gnarly, and I like it. See you soon, everyone. Don't know if I did that. Great.